This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about onboarding your clients and figuring out their calories in the first 2 weeks. Also, Dan gets a bit eggy about some 1200 calorie bro science. Three, two, one. We're back in the gym.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dan Meek.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bud?
Oh, it was good to be back. I didn't quite anticipate the level of outpouring I'd get from clients about how much they enjoyed being back. Like, I knew it was coming, but everyone's in such a good mood this week on their check-in. Everyone has been to the gym anyway. That's good.
Yeah. Which is wonderful. I'm happy. I'm happy it's open. It was like I've literally put workouts in. You know how we used to sit down and organize our diary for when we would like train together?
Yeah.
Literally done that. Tried to do that basically in my days just when I train. It's like, that's my time. I go do it because everything else is just out of control in terms of work-wise. And I'm like, nope, at least I can go do that. Unfortunately, I do have to train in a gym where I kind of work as well, which is annoying, but I can quite happily send a message around in the WhatsApp group and be like, if I've got my headphones on, please don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Followed. But yeah, it's been lovely. It has been nice. I am 2 sessions in. I've only written 3 days a week. I've only written. I messaged Kevin Carr and just asked him to program me.
Oh, did he send you over the Mike Boyle special, what they're doing this week?
Basically, he was like, I'll send you my book and do that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, yeah. I was like, honestly, just send me whatever your athlete or your adult program are doing for the next couple of weeks and I'll do that. He was like, screenshot, bosh, there you go, do that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I was like, I just can't bother. I'd rather somebody just send it to me. So I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Off I go. All right, and I'm filling it in. Lovely job.
No, it's good, isn't it, when you got a plan rather than having to write it yourself? I think you just do
the old iPad Minis come out again. Take that around to Josh. Yeah, Daniel Meek used to be the captain of the iPad Mini. He used to walk around that when he was PTing all the time. I think one of the best purchases a in-person personal trainer can make is an iPad Mini. Not a big iPad Mini. iPad Mini just fits in lovely everywhere. The phone looks unprofessional. The iPad is too big. The Mini is
Don't worry about it. Influencer. Yeah. #influencer. That's right.
I think this is my second. You don't need like a particularly good one. I literally use it just to go to the gym and keep programs on. It might as well only have numbers on it, and that's it.
Yeah. That was. I used to remember that. It was good times. I just use True Coach now on my phone. My coach is using True Coach, so just got it on there.
Lovely.
Nice and easy. He said, I remember when we set up, he was like, "Oh, do you want me to send you the whole week's workouts or just like the next day that's coming up?" And I was like, just the next day. Like, otherwise I'll get to it.
So you're going to start to look in, like, yeah.
And be like, oh, God, I got that coming up.
Would you sneak an extra, like, would you be like, oh, you would look ahead?
I probably would, yeah. And because obviously the way he's programmed is that it's progressive week on week. So I didn't want to be in a position where on a Monday looking and go, oh, for fuck's sake, Thursday. I just have to get on with it, and just on the day I just turn it on and go, right, what have I got today? So yeah, it's quite good that.
I've been impressed. Like, Dan videoed some 21:15.9s, which was interesting. What was the conditioning element? As your clients are thinking, what the hell, has Dan lost it? Like, what is he doing?
I thought I'd start filming it. I might post it every session. I'm not going to film the strength bits of it, the boring like hypertrophy stuff. Like, you go and watch some of the bodybuilders for that if you want to watch that shit. But more like, because it's the bit I suppose that I haven't done a lot of. I think it's useful to post that sort of stuff because I have to also video it to make sure my form's okay. Because obviously under fatigue, I'm more likely to break down in form because, again, it's just something I haven't done.
I thought you were going to say just break down crying. Just
well, there's that. Oh, yeah, that's inevitable. But yeah, just to get an idea of, because I even noticed from watching one of the videos back with, certain movements that I could have done a bit better. I could have thought more about it and things like that. And I'd never used a ski erg before. Ever in my life. Ever. No. And I have no idea, by the way, how John Clark did 24 hours on one of those.
Oh, mate, he's got a ridiculous world record, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got.
I think he did have. I think he lost it, unfortunately, but I think he did have for a bit. I think someone beat him on it. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Max distance. Won it on 25.
I think he's got a world record for his age. No, his age category, male age category. Yeah, because there's
more than one person has now tried to do it in the world. Like, why would anyone try and do that? Like,
so there's a girl who has just recently. She was training at third space for a long time, and then quit her private equity firm job to basically chase being a PT, and loved CrossFit and all over that. She is Captain Ski Erg. If you want to see someone who's completely mental, there's a girl called Louisa Sondergaard, who I think she over lockdown, she just turned flat into a gym. And I think she must hold, I'm going to go for about 3 or 4 world records, and then maybe 3 or 4 kind of, there we go. World record ski erg, 5 kilometer, 6 kilometer, British record ski erg, 1 minute, 500, 1K, 2K, 5K, 6K. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I liked it because it's different type of cardio, obviously, to just doing stuff like running, obviously, where your knees get a bit fucked, whatever. And I've felt my quads get a bit tight from doing the running and stuff, but I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah.
But the ski ergs in there, cause it's just a little bit different, I think, as well. But yeah, I'm going to start filming that bit of it because I think it's different. It's a bit more entertaining to watch than just someone bench pressing, whatever weight they're using. But yeah, it's just interesting to look back on, I think, for that, and it fits into a reel quite nicely. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just keep posting the shit that I'm doing, and people can have a little look and a little nosy. But yeah, it's good. It's good to have something different to focus on in my training. I'm not gonna lie, and you do feel better. I get that, the runner's endorphins. That whole you do feel good after doing it, which is nice. And I'm already seeing slight changes in how I look slightly, because my nutrition doesn't really change that much. But interestingly, I noticed as well from going back into the gym and training harder and doing stuff, I've gained weight because of all the carbs, inflammation, water retention, everything like that. Is my weight's actually gone up because it's just not used to it. It's not been used to having to fucking do anything, which has been interesting to see. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good fun. I think everyone's glad to be back, aren't they, in the gyms? So.
Yeah, it seems like that. So anybody who's listened to this and hasn't kind of attempted to go back, because I'm sure there's some who've kind of I'm a little bit even not. I don't think there's the fear factor of COVID's there anymore, but it might be just an anxiety factor of kind of walking back in the gym. And obviously classes aren't really allowed. I think some gyms are doing them outside. So I think the indoor ones, how we've done it, is just we write up the class in chalk up on the mirrors. Those were the classes that they would have done that day, and you can do it by yourself, which is quite nice. And yeah, we got some big screens that you can follow along to. Also, we do have the online stuff, so people still come in because there's obviously virtual classes still happening. They literally come in, bring their screen in, and do the virtual class in the gym, which is fun. It's always fun. We always used to giggle when that you bring in it's almost like doing a home DVD and putting it up. But you're like, if you come to the gym to do this, there's no weights involved in that. At least in the virtual classes done by First Space, there are weights involved. They're this is for a dumbbell and a kettlebell class. Do this. So it's quite fun. But if they're anxiety, I say it's not just get over it, but yeah, just slowly go back in. Just get kind of comfortable with it again. There's plenty of people wandering around and not really knowing what's what, and just book in to go see a coach as well. I feel like a lot of people haven't really realized. So how many people have I seen? So I didn't train anybody on Monday, too busy. I think I've probably seen 6 of my clients back in the gym so far, and guess what we've been doing? So this week is aerobic
Max testing week. Max testing week.
Unfortunately, guys. So if you want to follow my pattern, PTs, this week is aerobic testing week. Next week will be kind of fundamental strength testing week. Believe it or not, call me crazy, but I'm giving them a week to get back comfortable lifting loads before I test them on their weights. I mean, it's bonkers, I know. But so everybody has got basically a test, which is going to be, so I'm doing like a mile on the assault bike is one of my normal tests, my aerobic test.
A little bit.
Yeah, I know. That's one of my bog standard ones that I like throwing in. That's basically the same as like a 3-minute test on the watt bike. That one I haven't done yet because I think there's a little skill element to that as well. I will be using the ski erg, so I tend to use like a max distance on the ski erg, something like that. It might be a K or 2K. I'll just do it at the end as well. I realize it's not the most valid test. Like, scientists, I'm not going to do that because you can't replicate the exact same session you did. It doesn't matter. Like general pop, it'll be okay. They're not too fast.
Yeah.
As long as I'm taking the data down, we're probably all right. So I would encourage you, if you're doing it this week, so make the first week or maybe the first 2 weeks, just test like aerobic conditioning. Go for that. Don't test everything. Clients don't want to do that. They don't want to know how much they suck. Like they give it to them in little bits, like the whole positive kind of negative sandwich, that bullshit. Like, all right, we've got a result, we've got something, go through it. So, and everybody's really hated that. So today was, I just picked everybody today, had assault bikes. I looked like one of those trainers that just did the same thing with everybody. And I was just like, I'll need the assault bike at the end of this session, guys. Is that all right? Come. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But or like, we just got a new piece of equipment. I'm going to use it. That kind of vibe in the gym. Like everybody was like, we've got a landmine. Oh, have we? All right, I'm going to be doing landmine presses. So that's my week. And then they're literally then next week will just be either an upper body strength one or a lower body strength one, more than likely. And that's about it. That's all the figures I really want. And then after like a foundational, everybody's on like a phase 1 or phase 2 of foundation strength. And then I'm going to go on from there, basically after about 3-4 weeks. If they're progressing too quickly, like then such a good coach, or it's not hard enough. And we've gone backwards a little bit because some of them might be on like phase 6s or 7s or something like that. Normally I've just reset it because essentially most people have had 3 or 4 months off, like actually lifting load. So I thought that was smart. I mean, I'm not gonna blow my own trumpet, mate, but I thought it was a no-brainer. And people, even though like the one system that you could have worked properly during lockdown was the aerobic system. Nope, everybody sucks ass.
Yeah, do you know what though? Like, I get it as well. Like, I get with a lot of stuff over lockdown. Like, I was the same. I didn't do anything, but I think it was a time where you just like can't be bothered. Like, and it's been interesting to see how much, for me especially, it affected how I felt just on a day-to-day basis. Not even about like, for me, it wasn't even about like how I looked or how I felt about how I looked or anything like that, or even how strong I was. I wasn't lifting anything. How do I know how weak I got? I didn't know. It just became a feeling in the end. I was just like, fuck, this doesn't feel good. And I think everyone got into the same boat where the first lockdown, it was like, okay, cool, we can keep this going. It's not for long. And then by the time we got to the third one, over Christmas, obviously no one really does much, but we had November one, then it was Christmas. No one really got back into the swing of things. So I looked at it and I was like, well, I think in the first lockdown, I still moved a bit. And then it got to like, you think about it, that's 5 months. Because it was November lockdown, December, January. Yeah. It's like you've not done anything, and no one wanted to go out running in the fucking cold and the rain and stuff like that. So it's a long time to decondition. It makes you realise, I think, with all that. But I've already seen a video of someone going back into the gym and stacking the chest press machine and going for fucking stupid. Already seen. And they may have been training at home, blah 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 blah, but it's still different. People don't understand this, and I try to explain it quite a few times. Obviously, it's just a fucking bodybuilder or whatever, right? But it was the whole thing about like, because you've been able to do like press ups at home and you've got a bench at home and you manage to get like 80 kilos, 100 kilos of weight, the chest press machine with the stability in it, there's more tension and load going through your shoulder joint and your chest than you could do with a barbell lying down on a bench because of the stability element to it and the fact you've focused so solely on that. It's just stupid. It's like, come on. It's like, stop it. Just stop it.
Let them do it. Let them do it. They'll seek help. There's enough stuff out there. All right. Yeah. So in summary, guys, who knew me and Dan like the gym?
Who knew?
I know.
Who knew?
Yeah, absolutely insane. Yeah. Well, I guess have you got your protein bars? Have you got some?
Oh, yeah.
Next year?
Do we have to try these ones again? They're just going to be the same, aren't they?
I think we do a little versus.
I did buy some. I did buy some more, but not for the taste test. But we should do a taste test. I've just realised I didn't buy you any of them. I should have done. Is it my round or is it your round? Is it?
I think it's probably mine, if I'm honest.
Anyway, I got just for just to show you, I got the M&M's high protein. I got the M&M peanut high protein.
I did see
got
these.
The Snickers peanut butter high protein and the Snickers white high protein. So just for myself, I got them for. I did, and then as soon as they arrived, I thought, actually, probably should have mentioned this. Got them from Protein Pick and Mix though, if you want to go and get them.
Of course, they know us. They in Protein Pick and Mix know who we are.
Did I tell you I had the apple crumble carb killer as well? Did I tell you that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because we mentioned it because I had the apple crumble Kit Kat.
Not good.
Because you can see that I'm so fit pro. I couldn't be bothered with the carb.
I've just found the half-eaten Coco Bueno from last week in the box. That was not good. That one.
Yeah. So we're gonna go. I think. Did you eat all of? So we're gonna do little jingle down. I'm not on my flat, so I haven't got a ukulele with me. I feel like it's going to be an on-running joke, and I'm never going to play the ukulele. So I have got one of Nikki's Fit Kitchen ones with me. Have you eaten all
that's in my fridge. I think I might have eaten it actually. I might have done.
I did eat the birthday cake one, and it was nice.
Yeah. I had the fudge as well, Biscoff fudge. That was very good.
Oh, I've got the fudge here. Is that good? Yeah.
That's not protein, mate. That's just Biscoff fudge. Just to let you know.
Before you get excited, I realised I'm just like I've got that because I was like, I might have a little treat. FYI, guys, Easter. I think I've eaten an egg a day since Easter, and I'm still going. It's insane. I know. Hence why the gyms had to open. And I'm full of beans.
So we're gonna have Bicky Scoff and Lemon Dream.
Basically, mate, haven't we got one more as well? I've got 3 from that.
We usually do 2 though, don't we?
I know, but I feel like I want to get through these.
I mean, this is a chocolate nutter, and I can guarantee you it's gonna be the same as the Bueno. I can pretty much guarantee it.
All right, so we won't do that one then. We'll just eat that in our own time.
I want to try the Bicky Scoff. That's the one I really want to try.
So we're going to do protein bakehouse. I believe I'm going to order from Protein Patisserie at some point in the next. Well, when they seem to sell out within an hour, like even quicker than that. Protein Patisserie, so it's always a good sign. I think that. So we'll get them. So these are the guys. I haven't got the macros. I didn't bring the box, so you can do that, my friend. Whilst Dan stuffs his face, and he's meant to be reading the macros. Of course he does. I'm going to open these. Right. So we've got a protein cookie bar. Oh, we got. It's on the.
I'm over the whole them hearing me chew now. I'm over it.
Really?
Okay, now I'm not bothered.
It's actually on the packet. I didn't realize. So 200 calories for the Lemony Dream, 210 for the Bicky Scoff, 20 grams of protein in each, 18 grams of fiber. I'm guessing milk, egg, soy, wheat.
It's all right.
What did you go for?
Bicky Scoff.
The only thing that has worried me, and I have taken these across London because I travelled. I'm doing the podcast from a different place. You can see all the plants. Is they're a bit greasy, and that annoys me. I guess the grease is because they've literally got grease-proof paper on, haven't they? Like on the bottom.
Yeah, it's not very Biscoffy.
No.
Obviously, it's not going to be, is it? I knew that. 210 calories is not going to be, is it?
Is it as Biscoffy as though we can only kind of compare it to the other Biscoffy one we had was through Nikki's Fit Kitchen?
Oh, that was more Biscoff. Nicky's was that's you couldn't if you were to blind taste test that, you wouldn't know it was Biscoff, in my opinion.
All right, I'm gonna have a little taste.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, like they look. The thing about the bakehouse ones is they do look very good. They look like they're gonna taste different than what they do. If that makes sense. That one was all right though. It's not bad. It's not a bad taste. It's just not
a bad taste. It's just not a Biscoff taste, is it?
No, it's not. Like
no, I'm not too sure what taste that is.
It's a biscuit. It's like a biscuit. If I was to describe it, it's like a biscuit, but it's not a. It's more like a plain hobnob than it is a Biscoff.
Like a plain hobnob towards like a ginger nutty taste.
Yeah,
I feel like there's ginger in it. No.
Right, lemon dream. Then here we go.
Lemon dream. So as we said, it was 20 grams of a protein, which is the standard. That's the gold standard. We want that. If you can get above it, then pretty nice. It's with these as well. They're like oat bars basically. It looks like oat bars, don't they? And they've always got this layer of like chocolatey stuff on the bottom. It kind of holds it together, I believe.
Better.
Yeah. See, I'm apprehensive.
It's got lemon curd in it because it's got lemon curd in it.
I'm not a lemon guy. I like lemonade, but
I'm not hugely. But that's like that tastes like a lemon drizzle cake.
I mean, it smells.
It tastes like a lemon drizzle cake.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Who's buying lemon? Like, what is your name?
Oh,
Betty?
mate, a good lemon drizzle cake is quality.
You're so northern. It's insane.
Mate, a lemon drizzle cake that's nice and moist and sweet and like sharp. Oh God, it's moist. It's the moistness that does it. It's the moistness.
Yeah.
Has to be right. The lemon one's the best one out of the lot we've tried. Tell you that now.
I can't go over the lemon. I just don't like lemon things. I don't think.
Oh,
I'm not a fan.
I could eat that.
It's boring. I'll send it to you. Yeah. Okay.
Right. If you don't like lemon things, don't get it. If you don't mind a lemon drizzle cake like me, then you'll like it.
I think that's the thing, right? I don't mind them, but I prefer a lemon in a nice drink.
Gin and tonic, yeah.
Having it in a nice gin. Well, mate, lemon. Who's putting lemon in that? You want a nice little cucumber.
All right. So you're from London. Fucking hell. Cucumber in your G&T. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. Those are both.
Do you know why? Right. Why I like the lemon is because it tastes as it's supposed to taste. It tastes like lemon. It's got lemon in it. It tastes like lemon.
I will give it its credit. It does taste how I thought it would taste.
Like lemon. Yeah. Those others don't taste like what they say they're going to taste like.
So and as always, these are good bars. All right, don't get me wrong; they're better than most bars, 1,000%. They're just not on the rating from I don't know from Quest.
They're better than CMP jam roly polies, whatever the fuck they are. Yeah, we're talking at the high end now of protein bars. We're not talking, your Nissan Micras, your Vauxhall Astras, whatever. We're talking like top range, that car, like Ferraris, Aston Martins, Lamborghinis. We're at that end of the protein bar.
This is a basic Jag, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's an old man Jag in it. It does a job, and someone will probably like it somewhere, but realistically, not most people are going to pass on that for better options out there.
Yeah, the mileage could be better, exactly. But
for me, the Protein Pantry birthday cake and
still there, isn't it?
Still needs to be beaten. That has not been beaten yet.
I think, the birthday cake, and people kind of like I've said about it previously, and people are like, oh, birthday cake like bar, or like that doesn't work. I was like, it works. So it's literally just cake. They don't need to call it a bar. They don't call it a bar. I don't think it's a cake.
Very, very
but yeah, I'm gonna give that. I reckon you should rate the lemony one because you like lemon. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna give it like a 4 because I don't like it.
Yeah, 7.5. 7.5.
7.5. Nice. The Biscoff one, I don't get. Like lather it in Biscoff. For fuck's sake. I realise Biscoff is quite caloric, isn't it? So
just a little. This is what annoys me about like protein stuff because it's like don't put on the label it tastes like Biscoff because I know that 210 calories of Biscoff is such a small amount that it obviously isn't going to taste like Biscoff.
If you literally just called it like biscuit, biscuit bar,
snickerdoodle biscuit or something,
the biscuit bar, then crack on. But yeah. Let me give that solid.
It's my issue with the Bueno bar. It was my issue with the Bueno one. It's not
the Bueno. You're like, that's the thing. I think you build it up. If you give yourself like that name, you're like, oh, this is going to be working good. If it doesn't, like, it's just not living up. Mate ends it a 6 and a 7.5. I think that rounds it out. Lovely job. Not bad bars, but there's better out there. Up your game. We still got to try the desserts. I'm looking forward to trying some desserts. We can change it to our protein. It's not protein bar review, is it? Just protein review. Something with protein in it. We'll just be having cereal next. Oh, I did like the thing you sent me. That.
Yeah, you know it. The second I saw that, mate, I thought of you.
And to prove this, how much Dan sees this and knows me better than my girlfriend, she sent it to me the day after. And I was like, Dan sent me this yesterday. You don't love me. It's like, that's what it's about. Be there. Basically, it was like a protein shake kind of thing, but you could like have your cereal and your milk and like in the thing, and you just have your cereal milk on the go. Lovely.
So good. So good at that.
Realised that that brings you back. What I mean, I haven't talked about this in a while. I think Joe tried they're fucking awful. People were getting excited about them. They're like, oh, I haven't tried it. Like the strawberry white chocolate Cocoa Pops.
Oh no, never
gonna absolutely be good. Never going to be good. Awful. Which did elude me into thinking and have a slight debate in the best cereal residue milk. So the milk that is left over after eating the cereal, what is the best milk that is left over? Which is a serious question. It's a serious topic. We're going to get into calories and you arguing on the internet in a minute, but
it can't be Crave because the chocolate doesn't go into the milk. I think it's curiously cinnamon, you know.
Curious, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think like because cinnamon milk's nice, isn't it? I think we had it when what was it? Serial Killers was it? Serial Killer Cafe was still. It's not a thing anymore, unfortunately. I think they shut down. I think they shut down. I think COVID killed them. It was a great store. Don't care when people are like, well, you're going to pay £3 for a cereal bowl. I'll pay £5 for a cereal bowl.
I hate that stupid argument as well because it's like you pay £3 for a coffee, you moron.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And like, and
you knew how much that cost.
And they're always like, the thing is like, oh, support the like the little boutique ones, the independent. Yeah, they literally had 2 shops. Yeah. They started with 1. Like that's supporting independence. Like instead of your £3.40 like caramella matcha killer mana latte. Don't have that. They cost like at the services when you're like I'm driving to Dan at the services. Those Starbucks cost a fucking fortune, and I live in London. That's insane. They cost more than down the road in Marylebone when I have to drive to Daniel. So, Jesus.
I just think it's just that whole argument that people just don't understand how it works. Like in general, like, yeah, you know that T-shirt, you could buy it for £3 from Primark or you buy it for £20 from Topshop or whatever. Like, it's just that's what you're paying for. Like, it's called capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
Did
you go out to the shops Monday?
No. I've got nothing to buy, mate. Don't need to buy anything. I did go to the coffee shop. I went to the coffee shop, I went to the gym, and it's just nice to see people out and about. I'll tell you what I have noticed is people are far less bothered now. Like not as many people wearing masks out and about, walking around and not sort of keeping their distances from people. And it's just a bit more like, fucking hell, come on, let's get back to normal quick.
Normal, isn't it? Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
I didn't rush back to any shops. I haven't even eaten out as well, which is normally a big thing for me. Haven't eaten out, but it's also too cold to eat outside, I feel, yet.
Yeah.
We will like find some stuff that has like terraces and stuff like that, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, but I've got to select my first restaurant back quite carefully, I feel. I think it's quite a big deal for me.
Laura got me a Bleecker kit for my birthday meal.
She did consult me. Yeah.
That was very well done.
I had a panicked text message going, Tom, which one's the burgers that Dan likes? And to be fair to her, she did remember before I replied. So I was like, she did, yeah. I had a stream. You know when like somebody sent you some messages and then I haven't replied yet, and then they're like, oh, I've actually already found it. Like, already fine. I was like, yeah, he does love the Bleecker ones, but I was like, here's some other ones that have also got those if he wants to branch out. But I was like, go Bleecker because it's pretty safe. And if we know Dan, like he likes a home run hit. It's fine. He likes what he likes.
Yeah, so I think you've got to go to Burger and Beyond, haven't you? Surely.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know if they have terrace though. That's the only thing outside.
Oh well.
I have to have a look.
They probably do takeout. Do they do takeout?
Oh, they definitely do takeout. Yeah, we ordered Burger and Beyond to the office. It's only down the road. So yeah. All right, mate. We have to talk vaguely topical for Dan, and I guess there will be an influx of clients and opportunities, I believe, for personal trainers with the gyms reopening. And what I would like Dan to do, considering he got a little bit aggy on his Instagram today, and I would like you to talk talk through what you do as a coach. Not like to too much in-depth detail because people can buy the playbook if they want to do that. You're going to talk about your onboarding week and what Dan does to decide what calories that person is probably going to be on for the future. So this has been a topic in one of my protein groups as well. And I did chime in and say, this is a version of my 1 week or 2 week onboarding to figure out calories. Because yes, we could use a Capture-Mercado like formula, but I'd probably rather do the kind of coaching personal aspect of being the PT than just go, off we go. I've done my Capture-Mercado formula, off we go. So there's a few formulas out there. That's the one that we recommend. I don't know whether you recommend, if you're going to quickly do that, because it's the one that's it's the one that's meant to take in lean muscle mass into account. That's the only one. So maybe use it as a rough guide, but you still do your onboarding week. But yeah, Dan, onboarding, calories. Can you possibly live off 1,200? Let's go. I will. I'm gonna keep poking the bear as we go forward.
Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah. So basically, like when someone signs up or whatever, we will go through the same sort of process with every single person. So when they get signed up, they get sent a video on how to use MyFitnessPal to make sure they know how to use it. And even if they think they know, I still get them to watch it so that they are aware of little things that maybe not be doing so well and all this sort of stuff. So that's number one, is you have to know that they know how to track first and foremost, because you can't just say to them, track for me, because what if they don't know? So start with that. Obviously fill out a questionnaire for us based on, in fact, do you know what? I could probably get it up in front of me if I really wanted to. So they go through a full questionnaire about, their rough history, things like that, things like any health issues they've had, et cetera. But also within that, they also have questions around like their knowledge level, whether they know how to track food, whether they've heard of macronutrients, whether they understand calories, obviously their goal, how active they are, if they do any leisure activities. Just going through it now. Females as well, like their cycle, all that sort of stuff, because that's important to know, again, from a caloric point of view. How well they sleep, things like that. So that's the kind of like the background. And then into the nutrition section is like, where do you currently get your information from? Do you have a good understanding of macros? Do you know what flexible dieting is? Are you able to cook? That's a pretty important one. Do you have access to recipes? What other diets have you tried? Are you vegan, veggie, et cetera? Do you have good knowledge of tracking food? Do you have time to prep? All these sorts of things. Do you know how to use an oven, microwave, whatever, right? Sounds a bit stupid to go into that level of detail, but it's fucking useful. So once you've got that, we then say, right, now what I want you to do for 1 week is track all your calories and keep a consistent food diary for 7 days. So in the 7 days, they will track all their food intake, everything that passes their lips, everything they drink, et cetera, goes into the food diary. And you tend to notice patterns within these people, all this sort of stuff. But basically, we also get them to weigh themselves every day during that, what steps they've done, training they've done, how they've slept, et cetera. And from that, you can get a pretty good idea about where things are going wrong. And people, usually do similar things, that they'll eat pretty low calorie during the week and then have massive weekends, or Friday night, Saturday night, they just didn't track, for example, that kind of thing. And it gives you an idea of where they're at with things. But usually from that assessment week, you'll know exactly where you need to start with someone. So some people, I still won't know what calories I need to be on after that 1 week. It's 1 week. Like, how am I supposed to know? But what I do know is that they're only eating 60 grams of protein a day. And during the week, they're eating nothing. And then at the weekend, they're binging on chocolate and takeaways. I don't need to worry about what their calories are. I don't need to worry about it. They need to eat more protein, eat some more vegetables, and consistently eat more during the week, so they can not then binge their tits off at the weekend, right? But essentially, if you get someone who's perfect and someone who's come in and done everything as they should do, you'll get an idea of, right, well, over the 7 days, what's the average calories been? What's the average weight loss been, or weight gain been, or weight maintenance? Based on that, you can roughly work out how many calories you need to be on to lose weight. So if someone comes in, averages out 2,000 calories a day, and they lose 0.2 kilos over the week, you've got a pretty good idea. They're probably pretty close to maintenance, maybe in a slight deficit. So I know over the week, 14,000 calories, I can move them around as I see fit. But I always say to people, I've done it before as well. I've gone, right, I want you to do another assessment week. I want you to do a second one. Just do the same thing because it was too erratic, it was too whatever. And that'll give you a good idea, again, about their decision making, et cetera, et cetera. But basically, I just tell them to eat how they currently eat for a week. And I need to see it. I need to see what that looks like and what happens. And from there, you can then make the decision based on their goal, all that sort of stuff. So I had a female come to me and she wanted to get out of, she was in a bit of a cycle where she was binging loads at the weekends. And then her training was shit during the week and she couldn't get any muscle. And I was like, well, because you've got no energy to train hard and then you undereat all week and then you go crazy at the weekend. So based on her goal, I didn't really need to move her calories much. It was actually about going up in calories and eating more during the week. So again, different goals for different people. Hers was less about weight, to be fair. But as a general rule, number one, you have to make sure they know how to track, because asking them to track for a week is or even giving them any calories to track and say hit their calories is pointless if they don't know how to do any of that stuff. So that's the thing really that I would say for a lot of people is, yes, you might want your clients to track on all this sort of stuff, but you have to ask the questions first about whether they know what this stuff is. Because if they don't, again, I had another chat with a client today. So the reason I'm saying this is because we're doing this on a Wednesday when I have loads of client updates, and usually I don't, so it's a bit weird for me. It's all fresh in my head. And he's come back after a period of time, and I literally said to him, right, all I need from you, based on what he'd said on the phone to me, was I need you to eat your breakfast and lunch. They need to have a protein source in them and a portion of fruit or veg. And you need to drink 1.5 liters of water before you finish your lunch. That was it. That's what he needs to worry about. I don't know what his calories need to be on. All I know is that he'll feel better if he does that, based on what he told me. So is sometimes I think coaches are too quick to go, right, you need to track calories, you need to do this, you need to do that, and just, jump on, here's your calories, they're really low, fat loss. It's like, well, actually, some clients I've had before, they've tracked 2,000 calories a day, say on their assessment week, they've maintained their weight, but their protein's been at like 40 grams. And I know if I give them 2,000 calories a day and their protein goes up to 120, 140, they're probably going to notice that they're feeling leaner, fuller, probably eat less food. But the calories are the same. So it depends on so many things. And to be honest, the point that I'm at now, it's probably so many things I don't realize that I take in. And I just make a decision because I just use my brain and my experience rather than have to think about it too much. Same as what you do when you see an assessment, right? You're not actually assessing someone, you just get them to move. And then based on that movement, you know what they do more of and less of. It's the same thing. It's like, I think it was Tony Gentlecore. I saw a clip of him and he said, like, don't tell a client they're coming in for an assessment. It's like, it's fucking scary. It sounds shit. Just say you've got your first session and do your assessment under the guise of a first session. It's the same with the tracking. It's like, okay, do your first week. I just want to see what you eat. I just need to know what you eat on a normal week and what it looks like. There's no guidelines. No, I don't want you to worry about anything. Like, just eat as you normally eat. You're going to get a much better idea of them as a person and how honest they are about what they do and what they eat. And see them in a natural, state, I suppose.
That language is massive as well. Like, why would somebody call it assessment week? Like, assessment week means, fuck, I'm back at school. And like, there's going to be a judgment and a result at the end of that assessment. Like, assessment's scary. It's just like onboarding week. Like, I just want to get to know you, that kind of thing. You just had all your check-ins today, and I actually did a movement screen today with a fresh client who had, not very often open my doors to an actual client to train in person, but this lad who was persistent. I didn't even mention to him over the emails what we were doing. I was just like, I'll meet you upstairs. We'll crack on. We'll go through. I just want to see how you move in the first session. He didn't really know what he was doing. So when he kept his jumper on, when he was going to come out for the assessment, he was like, I'm a bit cold, so I'm going to keep my jumper on. I was like, cool, right? fair play. I was like, that will come off in about 15 minutes, as it did. Absolutely fine. But yeah, it was just a chat more than anything else. And then I have that's why the iPad's there, is like, I have it sounds boring. Like I do on my programs, obviously I have like 12 different things that I want to see. And they encompass a lot of things. It encompasses like locomotion, stability, mobility, but there's a little checklist, but it doesn't feel like an assessment. It's just can you do this for me? Can you move in this plane for me? Like to here, do that. And it was a very strange client then, because I've never had this, I don't think, ever. And I think in the 8-9 years I've been PTing, he literally said to me, and obviously, like, this isn't a thing I advise on coaches. I actually teach the complete opposite to do with your clients. He enjoys the technical aspect. He enjoys having it explained to him. So he wants to know what I'm thinking when I'm making him do stuff, and he wants me to tell him. And I was like, why? I was like, it's no. I was like, I realize it's your business, but it's not. I'm guessing you didn't do my master's degree. I'm guessing you didn't do this, and you haven't studied for this long. I was like, he was like, yeah, he was just like, yeah, just peace of mind more than anything else, and I quite like getting to know it. I was like, if you don't have an answer, I might be like, I don't know. But it was interesting. It was weird. I was like, all right, permission to try and confuse the fuck out of you. He'll start talking about his work, and I'm like, I have no idea. But yeah, the onboarding weeks for nutrition, I would say when I did them more currently, in terms of online stuff, mine would be fairly similar in the aspect of I'm nowhere near as in depth and never built out the stuff of like all of my Fitness Pal stuff. I'd probably be more hands-on with that kind of stuff when I did it, but Dan's built his business far better than I did for nutritional coaching. Hence why I'm not a nutrition coach. But yeah, in terms of in person, I would sit down and within that be like, if we don't know how to use my Fitness Pal, I will run over the basics with them and just like do this. And then as long as you add me as a friend, I can have a little look at what you're doing like throughout the thing. And I'll make sure I do before their next kind of session, as it were. And yeah, it's just letting them be comfortable. I think that's the biggest thing of like when they're onboarding is just don't word it as something crazy and just let them eat.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's simple as that. It's I think sometimes when people try and confuse people from the bat, and PTs are very guilty of it, is it's trying to give them, you want to show off everything you know straight away, and it's like, no, they've come to you for the result, not for you to show off their knowledge. Like, just get them a result they want. And that's where, like, with the questionnaire, it's really vital. Like, some of the questions we ask can seem a bit sort of like pointless or seem a bit over the top, but sometimes they're the ones that give you the most information. With it, I think as well, it's important to remember that is it gives you an idea as to why someone struggled up to this point potentially.
Yeah. So would you say, so week 1, you're not going to give someone 1,200 calories to eat?
Oh no, definitely. Everyone goes on 1,200 calories. Every single client of mine goes on 1,200 calories. It just annoyed me. That just annoyed me.
Right. 1,200 calories, Dan. Is that the bare minimum anybody can eat ever? And they die.
So that this has come
11:50 and
this has come up because on James Smith's story today, not James Smith's fault, someone asked a question. And the question was like, oh, my coach has put me on 1,200 calories for 10 to 12 days, like crying face. What should I say or what should I do? I can't remember what it was exactly. I'll find it because it's on my Instagram, right? Any idea why? Well, no, he hasn't got any idea why, has he? Because he's not your coach. Ask your fucking coach. But anyway, it got me going because I've also seen quite a few posts about the whole, like, you shouldn't be eating less than 1,200 calories because that's less calorie needs than a toddler. I was like, okay, like, how do you know what the calorie needs of a toddler are, for one? But whatever. Who's getting toddlers to track food? But also toddlers are fucking growing a lot and move around a lot, but neither here nor there. Again, it just shows people's lack of understanding of metabolic processes, for one. But also it annoyed me because I see it a lot of like people give their calorie number and they go, oh, that's too low. And it was in the Gym Outcast group, the one that's full of absolute morons, right? Someone posted in there, they were a guy, 96 kilos, trying to stick to a meal plan at 1,500 calories, right? Which sounds too low for someone. And it's like, if you're trying to stick to a meal plan at 1,500 calories, you're just going to at some point fuck up, right? But anyway, and all the people in the comments were like, that's too low. You'll never lose weight on that. It's too low. Starvation mode. Your calories should be higher than that and all this sort of stuff. And it really fucking annoys me because people have no clue what calories someone should be on unless they've worked with them for a longer period of time. And I need to make sure that I preface this with saying, look, you cannot blanket prescribe 1,200 calories to everyone. You cannot give out a meal plan with 1,200 calories. And at no point should you put someone on 1,200 calories without a rationale behind it, number one, before I go any further, right? But the fact of the matter is, a very small percentage of the population of people who are smaller, inactive, low levels of muscle mass, thyroid issues, PCOS, right, will need to go on lower than 1,200 calories to see weight loss. They will. It's a fact. And it's a fact that I've seen time and time and time again. And this is this is why it annoys me, is that people like that are obviously who doesn't want to be told you're eating too little to lose weight? Oh, I want to eat more. I'll eat more. Yeah, of course I want to. You're obviously going to go towards the coach that tells you can eat more. My point has always been, are they getting you the results though? Because it's all well and good saying, oh, I want to eat more calories. But if you're not seeing the result, that's why you can't eat that many calories. And it is a bit unfair. Life's not fair, right? It is a bit unfair. But I'm a prime example of this. I remember when I was in London as a PT doing 25,000 steps a day, doing 10 sessions a day and training myself, I could eat 3,500 calories a day and I would struggle to gain weight. Struggle. I remember it. And now I eat anything over 2,000 calories and it's like, fucking hell, I probably shouldn't eat that. It's too many calories for me today. I'm not broken. I just don't move as much as I used to. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of people who need to go on lower calories, when you look at them, they don't move around a lot. They don't train that hard. They're not that active. And it's always jumped up PTs that doing 25,000 steps a day, training 10 clients a day, training themselves 5-6 times a week, who turn around like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be eating that many calories. Like, oh, you should be on 3,000. I can lose weight on 3,000. Of course you can, because you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to bed at midnight. You're awake for longer, like all these things, right? And then you get those idiots that do that. And then it's easy for a coach to go once the popularity, oh yeah, you shouldn't be on that low. Yeah, come with me. You should be on higher calories than that. Yeah, and then they don't lose any weight. And like I said, it shouldn't just be a blanket. But if you've got the data to back it up, you may need to go lower. If someone's on a set number of calories, 1,500, and they're not losing weight, what do? Okay, you can either move more, do more exercise, train harder. I can't. I got work, got a busy family life. I can't really do much more than what I'm doing. Right, so what do you do then? Just go, okay, stay as you are then. You're not going to lose any more weight. It's impossible until you quit your job and start training more. Like, it's just stupid. And so then the only option you've got is to go, right, well, we need to then reduce calories a little bit. And I was very clear on my story that I said, like, I'll always try and make sure that the client is on the maximum number of calories that they can be on to see the desired goal, to see the desired result they want. But I'm also not going to keep a client on 1,600 calories until they're not losing weight and the goal is to feel better and lose weight, because that's a waste of everyone's time. And once you've got someone to lose weight, they might need to go on lower than 1,200 calories, but you'd rather get them there and then teach them how to then eat more and maintain at that lower weight and then do more activity and do more stuff, but then say to them, look, on these calories, you're fine. But I think that the thing that frustrates me is that there's this assumption that when you put someone on 1,200 calories or lower, even 1,000, whatever it might be, that you're not taking into account their hunger, their energy, their sleep, their activity, their life, all this sort of stuff. Like, all that stuff is thought about and discussed before that decision is made. It's not just a cut calories. No one wants to be told you're on such low calories, but you also have to have those conversations with clients where you go, look, like, this is where we're at. You can't do more activity. You want to lose more weight. You want to do this. This is kind of the only option we've got. It's not you're on 800 calories, good luck, like some coaches out there do, which they do, and they're shit. And that's not to say they're not shit, but it's when people say no one should be on less than 1,200 calories. What? No one ever? Yeah. No one ever? What? No one at all? And then some fucking jumped up dickhead started commenting back to me on my story and was like, oh, actually anyone on lower than 1,200 wouldn't survive. Incorrect. The guy that fasted for over a year, he survived. there's this whole thing around survive. What do you mean survive? What, like if you drop below 1200, you die instantly? No, you don't. You don't, because I've fasted for a whole day before. You don't, right? So then, well, when does it kick in? Oh, well, like, oh, you can't do it it has to be 1 to 2 weeks any longer. Well, what happens if it's 2 weeks and an hour? 2 weeks and 12 hours. What happens? Who's to say it's between 1 and 2 weeks? Like, where's the cutoff for you as a person? What if you don't know that cutoff and you just die? It's just so stupid, and it just winds me up, as you can tell, because I'm fucking going off on one. But it's just this whole like issue with starvation mode and stuff. And I get there are bad coaches that they're just handing out really low calories and just treating people like shit. I understand that, but I also question a lot of these coaches' results they're getting, because I don't see any results from these people that say, "Oh yeah, you should be lower than that, you should be lower than this." All right, show me what work you do then with people. Show me that you get people in good shape and that you will get them to lose weight. And then the argument was like, oh yeah, but it should be 1 to 2 weeks max, whatever. And I was like, look, you do it for as long as is needed. And there are diet breaks thrown in. There are weeks that are thrown in where you eat more food. There are refeed days. There are all this.
Of course, I think that's the thing. I think people think like, oh, that's their life now. It's like, no.
Yeah.
There is a process to build them back up. And that's the fact.
100%. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, no, to get them to diet, so in a deficit, they need to go lower. So that means their maintenance is higher. And then there's the whole thing, oh yeah, but their new maintenance will be lower. Well, yeah, it will, because they'll have lost 20 kilos of body fat like they want to. Yeah. So yes, it will be lower, but do you not think that then they might be more active because they've lost weight? They might want to go to the gym more. They might want to be more active with their kids. They might want to go out and do more. But there's always the goal to get them as lean as they want to be, and then build the calories up slowly over time so that they are at their maintenance calories. They understand that, and they can be at that point. But it's just this, like you said, it's this fear of like, oh, I'm on 1,200 calories the rest of my life now. No, you're not. Yeah. And also, you're never on 1,200 calories because you probably have a refeed day at 2,000, 2,500. And people who try and stick to these stupidly low calorie diets just end up having cheat days. And it's like, so you're not on 1,200 calories a day. You're not actually on 1,200 calories a day.
It's really rare, because they'll misinterpret. People lie, and that's the fact. And it's just like, all right, there'll always be I have one particular client who, believe it or not, that pretty much bang on is around 1150. I give her 1150 to 1250. I probably shouldn't even give her that, to be honest. No, full well knowing I'm going to have a story of, like, obviously work's tough or lockdown's tough, but knowing the story that, like, oh, just blew out at the weekend or blew out this. And I was like, unless that stops, like, possibly these adaptations don't change really. And we lost a lot of weight as well, because I was like, I've got to counteract what you do other time, basically, by chucking you on what is too low. She's okay with it because she gets it. She's like, you can have these calories throughout the week, so you can blow out at the weekend. So it's damage control more than anything else, which is fine.
And this is the thing.
But if that's a choice, though.
Yeah, it's just there's just a lack of understanding, isn't it? It's just, people see this stuff online, and like I said, people see that, oh well, I couldn't be on 1,200 calories. That'd be awful.
No,
yeah,
of course
that's
you
you. That's you. That's not that person. And I just think it's a massive bugbear that obviously, you see all sorts of shit like, oh, you're encouraging eating disorders, you're encouraging this. It's like, well, no, actually, eating disorders aren't actually necessarily food related all the time. So shut your face. And it's just like that whole thing around. It becomes such an emotional topic for people, especially with like the health at every size thing, like them. Yeah, but health at every size, unless you're lean or small, then it doesn't count. Apparently, it's just not every size, then, is it? It's just health at large.
Health at large, mate. Yeah.
But it's just frustrating, because it just gives good coaches a bad name if they dare to put clients on low calories, right? Because it's seen as bad, and it's not. It's always done with a time period in mind. There's diet breaks. There's all these things involved, because we're not fucking stupid. But again, you speak to some clients and you go, right, well, would you rather diet on lower calories for 6 weeks or slightly higher calories for 18 weeks and constantly feel like you're dieting for 18 weeks? I'll tell you what I'd prefer: 6 weeks of harder dieting on lower calories, and then once I'm there, I can eat more food. Simple. And that's what you ask those questions. You find that out about these people. You work it out. But like I said, no one's ever on like stupid low calories forever. I just hate it. Was just the way that guy asked the question. You wouldn't survive.
Yeah,
on lower than 1,200, you wouldn't survive. Well, what? So on 1150, I die instantly. No, you don't. So therefore, what you said is stupid.
Trust you to pick up on that kind of stuff as well. It's just like, to go the 1 calorie below, and then you're done. You're like, What? That doesn't exist. It's the whole. We were talking about it in the My Protein group with the programming. I came over the topic of the programming for 7, 9, and 11 reps.
Yeah.
And they were, what? I was like, believe me, those numbers exist. And you can put them in. It's quite funny, but that's the kind of trainer that's going to only be like 8s, 10s, 12s. That's all that exists. But yeah, so by all means, people, you can give them 12 months. Just have the rationale. It's like picking the exercise as well in my more field. Like it's have a rationale. Why are you doing it?
Do you know what? I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is, Tom. 1,200 calorie diets, right? Or 1,200 calories, it's like the snatch of the training industry, the training world. It's like most people probably don't need to worry about it or do it or even think about it. But there's probably 5% of people that actually need to know how to do it, and actually it would benefit them. Do you know? It's that thing of you are a good coach, or you'll know who or what or when may need a snatch or may need to learn one. Right. And
then you can still, like, in terms of how you were saying, you're like, you can give them a little bit, like you can do that for 3-4 days and then we'll refeed you. 3-4 days, refeed you. And that's your dumbbell hang snatch. And that's exactly where we're gonna do a kind of a basic level of it. We don't need to go from the floor because that's going to hinder your performance from your back, and probably go through that. Yeah. We're gonna do just single arm so you can control it, and bosh, we got dumbbell hang snatch going on, because I program those, and I'm going to stick up for it. Why I do that? Because I want to see quick hips sometimes.
And also as well, someone who comes in, Tom, and says, "Oh, I've got really, really bad shoulder. I've had 3 operations on it, and it really, really hurts." It's the same as someone coming to me and going, "Yeah, I really suffer with binge eating. Do you know what? I'm not going to put them on 1,200 calories a day." Pretty obvious. Like, but this is the thing: is like all these caveats don't get talked about. Everyone just goes, "No one should be on 1,200." It's like, no, there's a time and a place for these things, and it's just a good coach will know that there's a time and a place for it, and morons on Instagram won't, and that's fine. There's morons.
It's the whole like we normally cater for the 8%, but there is a chance that the 10% either side, we're gonna have those clients every now and again. That's the thing, like every now and again. So it's just, if you don't want to train them, don't train them. If that's too low and you don't want to do that, then move them on. Find somebody who will.
If you don't like those low calories, go work with someone who wants to gain muscle instead of losing.
All right, mate. Lovely. I'm glad you got off your chest. Any other business from you?
No, not from me. I need to lie down now,
I think you do. You had a long day. Both had a long day. All the check-ins. I think anybody's listening to this, it's just this rant has just come from check-ins and Dan having to do check-ins all day. This is what he's normally like on a Wednesday afternoon.
No, it's also because I've seen my training session I've got to do tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, true. So that's gonna be fun. So I hope he videos it, because otherwise we won't know it's happened.
Yeah, I've got a video, haven't I? Otherwise it won't have happened.
I want you to do. Are you doing running in the gym? Is it like on the treadmill and stuff?
Yeah, be on the curve.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I thought you were going to do it like running outside. So I want to see you like place your camera, run past the camera, and you have to place your camera somewhere else, then run past that camera just to prove.
Can you imagine?
But on the curve, what's the distance? You said 350 meters, 300 meters.
300, yeah.
Oh,
well, the first one is 45 seconds, and then the second one is 300 meters.
That's just nasty on the curve. I'll give you one tip, Daniel, and you'll know this. Warm up your hamstrings.
Yes. Sure, they will be.
Do excessive an amount of warm up on your hamstrings, please. Otherwise, we're going to have
the speed I'm plodding along. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, Daniel Meek, because using the treadmill, a curved treadmill, you will be exerting a little bit of tension through those guys as you pull back.
Yeah.
I still remember the first day we got curved treadmills at first base, and then I think I did a little talk on them, and then I was just like, all right, guys, you're gonna really do through your B skips, your A skips, do this kind of business, maybe do some like hamstring slider work before you get on it. And you remember Scott pulled his hamstring straight away. I was like, good work, mate, good work. Good work, well done. Don't listen to me. All right, no other business from me. Everything's wonderful. We're back in the gym. We'll get a session. We'll realize what Dan's doing, and he'll be a cardio king by the end of the year.
That's it. Don't you worry about it.
All right, mate. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next week.
See you later.